I'm kind of lonely. It's either you or you can go get me someone, because man has needs, you know?
Yeah, why don't you stay a while? I have cable. It's a really nice jail cell. Really nice.
Well, she reminds him of the last time that he had somebody come stay with him at the castle, and how she ran away from the castle in a panic and then started a civil war.
Now, wait, there's a little bit more to it than just that. Apparently, he uttered some words, and she ran half naked, half crazy out of the castle. And then she repeated whatever it was he said to her, and that started a civil war.
I wish I knew what he said.
But you can't know, because then you would start a civil war.
Is that why you think it's not there?
I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to repeat whatever the dude's saying. And apparently that's what Terry is trying to imply here. Whatever he says is very bad. Always bad.
Always bad.
Always bad. Yeah, and I mean, I did kind of find it interesting because Terry changes the conversation here. At first, you do feel bad for Nathan. He is in prison, after all. He may be in a something with a rampart, so probably a castle, palace, whatever, in a really nice-ass room, but he is being held prisoner. And you're like, oh, I feel bad for the guy. And then you realize every time he talks to somebody and they talk to somebody else, some really bad shit happens. Yeah, probably good that this guy is locked up.
Yeah, it definitely changes the way you feel about Nathan right away. You flip-flop a little bit from like, oh no, poor Nathan. Oh, yeah. Because he's also very witty and like sharp. So you can't really get a read on him right away if he's a good guy or a bad guy.
Yeah, he kind of goes back and forth between I totally understand the conversation and not. I mean, just the point about the girl who ran away crazy and screaming, he's like, what? That didn't happen. She goes, yeah, I've told you that that's happened 3 times now. So he's obviously starting to lose his shit. And if he is in an apartment all by himself in like a solitary confinement situation, yeah, that's going to happen.
Wait, do you think he actually didn't remember her telling him that or that happening? Or was that just like a weird fucking mind game? Because it kind of felt like a weird fucking mind game to me that he plays with her all the time.
I mean, I think so. I think he's being difficult. And it does say here in a minute that he sees these prophecies like words in his mind. And he knows every single word, but he kind of likes to be coaxed to say it. So I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's just giving her a hard time. He's making her earn it.
That's what it came off to me as. He was just like, oh, I did that? Really? Also, if I admit that I did that, I might not get any play tonight from anybody. So probably best to not. At this point, though, he does give in and he tells her, all right. There was a fork in the prophecy. Like he just was struck by a vision tonight. And that's when he started to like yell out of his little hole in the web.
Yeah, why didn't you call me sooner? Well, I started calling when I had the vision. You just took a long-ass time to get here, and now it's in the middle of the night. So, that's your fault.
Yeah.
I know in the last book, when we were talking about Dark and Raw and the opening of the boxes, what box to open, what box not to, and you got to move them around a bunch. It's all very complicated, and we know for sure that we didn't get the entire explanation of how to figure out the magic of Orden.
Right.
It was made complicated on purpose. You weren't supposed to understand.
Yeah, by the time I was done reading it, I was like, I don't want to know. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll bet he's banking on they're just going to get about a third of the way through that paragraph and go, yeah, okay, I don't need that. I mean, no, but it's hard to understand. And what I think is cool about this explanation of prophecy is it is a little complicated, but it totally makes sense if you take the time and read it through. Very long paragraph to basically say, hey, there's a prophecy. A lot of prophecies could say, if this happens, then another thing will happen. But if this happens, another thing will happen. the book calls them if-then prophecies, which I think is funny because that's also a parenting technique for like motivation for kids.
Yeah.
But so what happens is that prophecy is split and it can only go down one avenue. And that one avenue bifurcates, learned 2 words today, splits off itself and can only take one avenue. So what Nathan and Margaret are talking about, what he's trying to explain is that once a fork happens, that means there's a false fork. You know, the side that isn't going to occur, and anything that fork touches needs to be erased from like the record because it's not going to happen.
These are prophecy trees with dead limbs.
Right. That's good.
So you gotta chop off the dead limb so it doesn't kill the tree.
You thought about that one, didn't you?
Little.
It shows. And that process takes fucking forever. Margaret is saying that this is going to take decades.
Yeah.
A long ass time to do. And she does like internally comment because it's just a thought she's having. She's like, well, there's one guy who's going to be happy about this. Fucking Warren, whatever Warren's job is, he's apparently just going to be ecstatic. I think we found our Carl 2.0.
Yeah. We're all going to have to listen to him at fucking lunch when he goes on and on about page 4 of the prophecy. I don't care, Warren. I was there.
I was there, Warren. We talked about this for 9 hours today. Can we just have a break?
God damn it, Warren. You know, I'm so stressed out at the thought of Warren that I think I need a beer.
Well, I mean, I think we might have already given ourselves away because we definitely cheersed earlier and we both had glass.
Yeah, we were drinking it already.
So tonight we are drinking Oberon Ale. It's from Bell's Brewing Company in Comstock, Michigan. It's an American wheat ale. It's an American wheat ale with a spicy hop character, mildly fruity aromas, and the color and scent of a sunny afternoon. Oberon is made with just malt, hops, Bell's signature house ale yeast, and water. The result is a medium body and a full flavor, making it the perfect beer for warm weather.
And some of you may actually be able to get that one by you, because I know that Bell's is one that distributes, like, pretty far.
Yeah, I think this is distributed nationally. I'm pretty sure everyone listening, except maybe those of you in the UK, sorry, can get it.
Yeah, like, because they also do Two Hearted at Bell's, and I know that one is one of the higher rated ones in the country.
That is, that is one of the more popular IPAs in the whole country.
I'm not, like, a fan of IPAs, I don't really like it, but it's okay. This is a solid wheat beer, though. I like this one.
Yeah, it's very, very good. I know we've had other wheat beers that were like, I think Sam Adams had a cherry wheat that was very good.
The Mitten has a fucking amazing mango wheat.
That's right. Yeah, we had that. I think we had that on the show.
We had that for my birthday.
It is delicious.
And it's amazing.
But, so that's why when I saw this wheat ale, I was like, all right, I'm going to try it. It's not flavored. It's just wheat ale. And as it turns out, really fucking good. So, I like Oberon. There, I said it.
Yeah, grab some. Put an orange slice in it, because that's what the people at the bars do when I order one. And drink it up.
It's a fancy beer. Well, I think we're going to get a refill, and we'll be back right after this.
And we're back. So, before the break, we were talking about the prophecy that Nathan had a vision of. I don't really know. He had a prophecy. I don't think that's the way. He prophesied? The prophecy he prophesized? The fork he forked? I don't really know. But
let's just go with had a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one that it is concerning is a core prophecy. This means it's like pretty fucking important. Shit's about to get complicated, basically, is what this means. This affects everything. So what this means is that they can't trust any prophecy until they cut out the false ones. That's why things are going to get complicated, because everything that they've kind of been banking on could be altered now. They have to go back and start kind of at zero to make sure they're in the right place. as far as prophecy goes.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, and this is a stretch, admittedly, but it's kind of like Minesweeper. One of the prophecies that Nathan has just declared as not true was touching a bomb. And so that explodes all of the other not true prophecies. And if somebody was kind of banking on one of those, or they were planning on that to be a true prophecy, and so that means that half of everything that they've been planning on, at least, is all gone. And they have to start again from the beginning.
Right. Which, I mean, if you're in the business of, like, trying to predict the future, probably sucks.
Yeah, well, Margaret says it's going to take decades. Like, decades. I haven't even been at the company I'm at for 10 years. In decades.
Yeah.
That means everything I've done at my company thus far, I'd have to start over from the beginning and do all over again.
But at the very least, Nathan, knowing the right prophecy and the fork that is true and the fork that is false, saves a fuckload of time, because he could have only known what the prophecy concerned, or he could have only known, like, which was a true fork and the false fork, or not known the forks at all. Prophecy's weird.
Yeah.
Still they're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, magic and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is the first hint that something fucked up is going on. Well, maybe not the first, because there was that cult
Yeah,
thing.
the cult thing. Yep, that happened.
And maybe not the second, because we know he's, like, a prisoner.
Oh, yeah, prisoner thing.
So...
2 checks.
Okay, so something that is fucked up is that at this point, Nathan is, like, super excited. He's ready to, like, listen to this information I know, right? And Margaret's first thought, so Nathan is all excited and happy to, like, share his information that he got. And Sister Margaret's first thought is, I hope I don't have to hurt him to get this information out.
Yeah,
What?
that's weird.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a thing.
Also feel like kind of relevant to what we were talking about at the very beginning of this episode. Like,
Cult thing?
no.
Prisoner thing?
Like, like, don't be brutal to people that you have under your care like that. Because, like, you have the power, so don't be a piece of shit.
Oh, you mean like treat people like humans?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. No, I follow you there.
Yeah.
So Nathan's trying to explain to her which fork is the one that's right and which is the one that is wrong. He tells her it's the prophecy about the one from Dahara. Basically, he's telling her that Dark and Rawl died, but now everybody is at an even greater risk. And the only hope is, essentially, Richard, although he doesn't say that out loud. But even that is really, really small chances. And this whole thing is kind of weird and vaguely spoken, magic words and such. You can't really tell if it's being literal or not. And I mean, to us, it did sound a little robotic, but that could also have just been Jimdale. Jimdale, it's one name now, Jimdale, which is kind of unfortunate because it's a really cool, like, the reader is getting their first bit of prophecy, but it kind of falls flat in the audiobook, if you ask me.
Yeah. I struggled a little bit with this chapter because I kept being like, that's written so weird. Why does it sound so wooden? And then I would be like, oh, I bet you it's not the words. It just took me out of the story a little bit. So
Yeah.
It took me a while to get through the chapter.
One thing he does make very, very clear is that if all goes wrong, okay, the world isn't going to hell in a handbasket for Dark and Rawl. It is going to the Lord of Anarchy, a.k.a. the Keeper. Marge here makes a comment about the Creator keeping her safe, and Nathan tells her that she would have more luck trusting what the fork says to trust. Yeah, I mean, Nathan here is obviously kind of taking a jab at what seems to be Margaret's religion.
It was a little bit funny to me because he was like, no, don't talk to the Creator. I literally just said the one with the truth, you know, the dude with the sword. So listen to him.
So it's him.
It's him.
Not the other,
Yeah.
the other guy.
He's going to save you.
So Nathan tells her a prophecy on each fork to help the sisters kind of understand the meaning of what he saw. The fork that sounds worse is false. It's not going to happen. It's nothing they need to worry about. The prophecy on the true fork is saying that for there to even be a chance, this one thing has to